this was an opportunity of a lifetime for my daughter. I came up with the bright idea that I would make a reservation at the hostel in my name, check in, give my daughter the key, and no one would be the wiser. Right? Wrong. The flight home was unbearable. The minute I reclined in my seat, my stomach began to churn. What had I just done? What message was I sending to my daughter? What if she became sick and needed medical attention? I was tempted to make a call on the plane and decided one breach of ethics was enough for a day. I telephoned the chaperone and confessed my sins when I arrived in Chicago. I then called my daughter and apologized for such a lapse in judgment. Thought it best to make this a teaching moment. The chaperone agreed to let my daughter stay at her apartment for a month, and the following summer she did return to the hostel in her own name. We must champion ethics. Our role is to be experts in the area of ethics and social responsibility, and to have the moral courage to insist that our companies, employees, and vendors just simply do the right thing. Easier said than done. With so much uncertainty, where do we begin? Graduates, we can help the world better understand and appreciate the significant contributions ethical businesses, government, and nonprofits make to our society. The new normal for ethics will include even more transparency and a greater role taken by government in business affairs. Now, some people are not going to like that intrusion. Our role as principled leaders will be needed more than ever. But to be effective, we must embrace diversity. How can we be effective leaders if we are insensitive to the differences of others and fail to embrace diversity? As the moral compass for our companies and customers, we must create environments where diversity is celebrated. As leaders, we must be of the world, not disinterested bystanders, only awakened when a crisis comes along or demands are presented for diversity in our company, department, or on our account team. We must not be trapped by confirmation bias, only reading material, only attending events, only joining organizations, only hiring employees that speak to our own backgrounds, experiences, and beliefs. It's when we screen out information we might not agree with. I speak often about the unintended consequence of confirmation bias on our society. The result can only be more stereotypes and even less understanding of our differences. Thanks to the internet and satellite radio, one can have their biases validated daily by self-selection. With the proliferation of the media and information sources, how do we influence consumer behavior when we are victims of this bias trap ourselves? If we don't become aware of our own biases and make the necessary changes, we will find ourselves without the relationships, resources, and understanding needed to help our organizations and customers navigate in the global marketplace. We will be serving the nation as well as ourselves and our customers if we succeed in avoiding confirmation bias. We will create a new normal where diversity thrives. How will you lead graduates in this new normal? Will senior management and your customers listen to your counsel? Of course they will, if you have credibility. Credibility, of course, is essential to leadership. Either you have it or you don't. You will know you have credibility when you are trusted with little oversight. Your boss and colleagues place a great deal of confidence in you to perform at a high level with sound judgment. Your performance is consistent over time. Without solicitation, others champion your causes and support your positions. I've identified more than 10 personal characteristics that, when cultivated, help build a positive reputation and credibility. But relax, Today, I will focus on the one that I think is most important, and that is listening skills. My experience leads me to believe that the art of listening is worse at both the entry level and senior levels. The young professional doesn't really believe they don't know everything, and the senior level professional is convinced that time proves they do. I remember the painful sting of my boss's words in my first PR job. He said, "Cheryl, you'd get more done with less rework if you were a better listener. And you'd probably have fewer planning meetings if everyone in the room listened." I left his office upset but determined to become a better listener and test his theory. I don't remember where I read it, and I'd love to give the author credit, but these little words, I believe, are the foundation for any success in listening. Listen without defending and speak without offending. My boss was right. A good listener excels at all the basic human relation skills critical to success in any profession. A misunderstanding can account for missed deadlines, projects that don't add up. A good listener seeks out other points of view, thus showing respect for others and helps to facilitate open, honest communication. You know, it really is best when you choose to listen. Becoming an effective listener will help shape your influence and credibility as a leader, friend, spouse, and parent. As you see, creating a new normal extends to your personal life as well. How you manage your time and resources will impact greatly on your success. The media and internet sources have provided countless advice on when and where to invest your money. However, the 4 stocks that yield the highest returns are investments in your capabilities, your career, your cabinet, and your community. Graduates, today we honor you in joining your celebration of the investment you have made in your capabilities. Enjoy your new understanding and delight in the promise that increased knowledge brings. As you return to work next week or next month, respect what you have learned here and embrace the classroom leadership offers. In my practice, I have seen an increase in the requests for one-on-one career counseling for mid and senior level professionals. The first question I ask is if they have a career plan. I often get a whimsical look of confusion. These are usually individuals who are excellent strategists and have created successful businesses or departments for their organization.